Hey everybody, Fallout, your Starcraft 2 noob here. Alright, so welcome to my big 6th match. Now this is the one that I've been kind of talking about lately. Here I am, the Red Terran, wow. Red Terran versus the Blue Protoss up here in the top. Once again, I think this is, is it? I think this is Steppes of War. I might be wrong. No, or maybe I am right. Whatever. I'm just wasting time. So this is probably the longest match I've had, but I do start to put a lot of what I've learned into practice from my training with Hipster. So it's been a little while since I've watched this match, so I'll try to pick up on everything, but here we go. I'm starting off. I'm actually focusing on doing the wall in, because again, this isn't Zerg. I don't need to worry too much about getting a full visual on my base for any early scouts. Right now I'm kind of waiting. There we go. Dropping the barracks, getting that out as soon as I hit 150 minerals. Constantly producing SCVs. That was one of the big lessons I was taught. I try to stay on top of that as best I can. You'll also might notice, if you've been watching some of my other videos, that my hotkeys kind of change a little bit here. Again, I've been taking that into practice. Binding my command center to 4. I'll be binding my barracks to 3. Yeah, there we go. Just happened. Number 2, I don't remember what I do with 2. I think that might be what I end up putting my starports and stuff on. But we'll have to see. But anyway, yeah, so this is a pretty standard opening right now. On my opponent, he's got gateway going up, second pylon. So again, pretty soft, standard opening. Now he's hitting up the second gas point. He's pretty good about also producing drones and keeping on it. So if you look at the totals right now, we're pretty even on everything. I've got a Marine in the works. I got this SCV finishing the wall off with the supply depot, because I do constantly have, like I said, SCVs are in production. So, we're looking pretty good right now. Here we go, second barracks going up. This build that I'm working on here is mainly focused on a early and aggressive push. I kind of botched the push, which is why this match is so long, and he does respond fairly well. So here we go, I'm actually adding on a tech lab now. That should keep the wall in secure. I just had to move the base a little bit. Now, back to my opponent up here. Here, let me get that out of the way, my bad. Throwing on a Stargate right off the bat. I do not respond in kind quite as early as... Well, I don't really respond that kind that early, anyway. I probably wouldn't throw like a factory and starport down right now. Soon. Very soon. Another one of the mistakes I made in this match is I didn't expand as early as I wanted to. It takes me way too long to actually get an expansion out, and I feel really bad about it. But if you can see here, I've got both of my barracks here on the same hotkey. So this allows me to quickly produce units. Already got a 4 army going. If we take a look at here, he's actually a little bit ahead of me as far as the army's going. If we can take a look up at his base. We can see what I'm doing here. I actually miscalculated the positioning of my engineering bay in conjunction with the barracks, so I had to do some shifting to get that reactor up. But here we go. He's got some zealots out. He's queuing up Void Ray. Got another zealot in the works. He's keeping it all pretty well contained, though. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Still pretty evenly matched. This guy is sitting here way too long. No, bad. There we go. So again, 3 harvesters on the gas. Got the factory up and going. Already starting to improve my infantry because I know I'm going to be pushing out hard on the ground level. So I want to make sure I try to get weaponry and armor going on that. I'm still kind of working on the build to make sure I get it quite right. I don't know if that's appropriate for the build that I'm working on here, but I figured I'd give it a shot. Here we go, got some supply depots going up. Right now I'm doing really good as far as supply goes. I got a 59 food, and I'm only using 32 of it right now. Here's some of the armies looking pretty good. Here we go, starport going up. So I think I'm building the starport early because I saw it was Protoss, and I remember my last match against Protoss involved a lot of void raids. And if I check in on this over here, he's already got a couple out and another in the queue. So he's pushing out to his rocks a little early now, but he's got the expansion going up, so he's hitting the natural. As far as I go, I am just building units. Now if you'll notice something, I'm not queuing anymore. I do it a little bit later when I realize that I'm kind of boned and I need to rebuild my army. But as of right now, I think I'm doing pretty smart. Just putting in there what needs to go in there. I stick a Marauder in there because what I've been doing is I'm just using my hotkeys to queue up. So there might be a couple, or to build. So there might be a couple issues where I'm, accidentally throw something down there, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I'm getting better at it. So here we go. He's got his natural up. He's got his zealots right in front of his rocks to help guard that. 3 void rays. A 4th in production. He's also good at not keeping things queued up too much. Another check-in on everything. Worker supplies even. Army supply fairly even. I'm finally starting to out-army him a little bit. Again, I got my army gathered right on the edge here. I should move him a little more into this area as well, if I'm going to be using this as a defense. But in any event, I mean, we're keeping it pretty tight right now. It's pretty even right now. He's got a lot more void rays up. I threw a scan down here so I could see what was going on. He sees that happening, so he rolls in with his void rays. So now, he's got his void rays inbound, but I got a lot of guys. I also got a medvac that I finally finished up, so we'll have that going. But here come these void rays. They're moving in. My army is a little out of position to deal with them, so he's going to get some movement off as I'm working. Gets that medvac, but here we go, moving these guys in. Now we're going to start picking off some void rays, try to weaken that air force, and we take them out. So pretty easily handled. I had a lot of Marines in there, so that wasn't going to be a problem. So now what I'm doing here, I suspect, okay, he just pushed out with that. Let me give it a few moments here, rebuild some of my forces. Now I'm using some Vikings because now I know he's going to be going air offensive. I can see it now, so I want to kind of match them, move for move, just in case he throws them out there. Still got some Marines coming out, and I'm going to start moving in. I don't know what else he's got going on. If I check back here, he's got a few zealots still guarding the rocks. Got those void rays going again, so he's already got 3 more up. Another one in the queue. Oh, I'm sorry, he's got 4 up here. My mistake. I didn't see that one hiding there. And yeah, he's got a 2nd Stargate up, which is now producing another void ray. So he's got 2 going at the same time. His gateway is quiet, though. I'm not sure why he's not producing any ground forces. But I am really heavy with minerals right now, which is not cool. Kind of sitting at 1,500, almost 1,600. But here we go, making my first push in. If we look at the selection, it's not quite the size I think I should have. I do end up scanning before I move in. I'm pretty sure I scanned before I move in. I think I did. I hope I did. I should. If I didn't do it, I should have scanned here before I move in. So here we go, taking out the rocks. He moves in with his void rays. My Vikings start moving in, but he quickly starts taking out the void rays. We check it out, his zealots here, so those guys are down. Now it's just these void rays I gotta deal with. He takes out my Vikings pretty handily. I start picking off void rays. Now I'm starting to work on his natural. Void rays come back in. He's got good control over these void rays. Picking off my Marines specifically, because obviously that's the only threat he needs to worry about. He doesn't care about my Marauders. They're not going to do his void rays any trouble. So focus on these guys for now. And I just barely get out of that unscathed. Here comes another void ray, and that's probably going to polish off my 2 remaining Marines, and then he's going to start working on my Marauders. So this push was not quite so good. I think what I'm doing here is just moving in to try and do as much damage to his supply line, to his primary supply line as I can. I don't really know why I chose this method. I have no answers, but I also just tried to outrun the probe, or void ray, excuse me. I do take out a lot of workers. So you can see his worker supply is much lower now. So there's that. But I got my army going. Again, whoever they were buying to is gone. But they're handled. I still got these little guys moving in. They're gonna die. This is a little bit of sloppy work on my part. I got this small force moving in, and they just kind of moved in on their own accord. I wasn't really aware of their presence. This guy too, he gets picked off pretty quickly. I got another couple Marines coming in. They're split. They're not focused on anything. This is very sloppy play on my part. Very sloppy play. Not paying attention to where my army is. He takes care of them pretty soundly. So his natural's back up and running. His primary base, he's trying to rebuild his workers. I'm just trying to rebuild my army now. So here we go. I'm still turning them out the same way. I got a lot of resources here. I should be throwing down some more barracks or another starport or something. Here we go. Speaking of the devil, there's my second starport. So I got that going. Still, tons of supplies. There's so much more I could be doing here. I could be producing some ground units. Who knows? Lots of stuff I could be doing. I could also be doing a friggin' expansion. Like, a smart player would, by now. 17 minutes into the game. I could be doing a friggin' expansion, but whatever. Here we go again. Queuing up. I don't actually... You can see I'm really low on minerals here. I finally... There we go. I expand at the 17.5 minute mark. Like a dummy. Here we go. Moving the army down. Or no. No, I'm not. Oh, I know I'm not because he moved in his void rays. So I pull my SCVs back. Get back on my army to try and handle these void rays. So he can't supply lock me. I get my SCVs out of danger. Take out the void rays. Alright. Now, I gotta try and manage everything. Send the SCVs back to work. Move the army out. So I've responded to that fairly well. I've handled his void rays, but I gotta keep building. Got my expansion going. He didn't see that. I don't think he's noticed that I've got that expansion up. We'll just take a quick look. Yeah, he has no idea that I have an expansion up. Here we go. Still moving out with some army here. I'm keeping it in the middle now while I build it up. Because I don't trust him, but here's my forces here. Now there's my little bit of minerals left. But I do shift down a lot of SCVs in a few moments here. Yeah, there they go. Bringing all the SCVs down to the completed mineral field. So they are all, a lot of them there, going to start gathering. Because this one's pretty much tapped out. I got one little mule who's working his fingers to the bone. Army, still getting built up. Let's take a look at worker supply. Yeah, right now I got a significant army lead. Fairly even on the worker supply. I think I fell a little bit behind during the fighting. Just not managing everything pretty well. But here we go. Made a big mistake as far as gas. I got gas locked. I don't even know if that's a proper term, but whatever. When I shifted all my SCVs down, I ignored the two the two refineries I had up here and forgot to start building them down here. So I had to get these refineries up really quick so I could start expanding my army and getting more forces up. But I got my medvac going. He's patching up the army. So I had a marauder get caught in there. I didn't even notice that. I don't think I do notice that, but that's okay. So, much bigger army this time around. Still looking pretty good. These little marines. There we go. Everybody move in. Getting them out of the way. Rebound them all. Yep, all rebound to my number 3 key. And there's another Viking coming out. And my opponent right now, small infantry, few void rays, and he's got a carrier here. And he's got some interceptors going. So he's got a lot of them queued up. I'm going to be pushing out fairly soon. I'm literally going full out everything I got, except for this one little medvac that I just leave sitting there like a dummy. Again, not being alert to where my army is. So dumb. But here we are. So not a lot happening right now, just getting ready for a big push out. There we go. I think I finally grabbed that medvac that was just chilling there. There's another one. And some Marines that I don't know why those Marines are just sitting there. I had all these pointed at the right place. I honestly don't know. But that's okay. So here we go. So here we go. Moving out. Alright. So I got a nice little bit of Vikings leading the charge. My ground forces are there. I'm trying to keep everything kind of close together because I don't know what he's got planned. Here he is moving out with 2 void rays. I don't know if we see each other. Yeah, I think he manages to kind of pass me in the night here. He moves in to start doing damage to me, I believe, with these 2 little void rays. I got 2 more Vikings coming out. He's keeping them down low. I don't remember what he does with those guys, but we'll check back on those in a second. But as far as me up here, I'm moving into the neutral zone, I guess you could say. So he's got those guys chilling. I'm moving into the neutral zone. Still got some army producing. Getting them queued up. Moving in again. Here we go. Making the big push. So this is my last push here. And I am going all in. Boom, couple of void rays. Dispose of them quickly. Ground forces. No thank you, sir. Trying to get my army moved around. Pretty bad micro. Yeah, micro. Not really that good at it. Here he goes. He's got these starships, these little interceptors in there. Trying to counter those. But I am focusing fire on the starships. The carriers, excuse me. Let's get those down. Here we go. Last carrier. Kaboom. And here we go. And that's it. At that point, now if we take a look at our current supplies, wow, this plays for a little bit, that's okay. Workers were pretty even throughout the match. I knocked him down to 27 army, which he had up here. I really don't know what he had. He had a lot of stuff in queue, so that might have been it. But he didn't really have anything going, and yeah, at this point, he could have thrown out all those starships if he wanted, and they would have been countered, no problem. I mean, look at all my Marines. I'm sitting on tons of Marines back here. These were producing, I think, till the very end when I realized that, it doesn't really matter anymore. But again, God, so much supply. Look at that. I don't know if you can really see that. That's over 4,000 minerals, over 700 gas. Way too much. I could have done so much more. But, again, first game, kind of putting everything into practice. But it's getting there. I think we're getting better. I'm getting better. I had a fairly long game because of a really weak early push. But did respond in kind. Took out that Protoss. Finally did an expansion in the game, guys. Yay! I expanded. Like, way late. What, 17 and a half minutes, right? After this was completely tapped out. It might as well not even be an expansion at that point. But, whatever. I'm not sure what these 3 void rays were doing. I didn't even notice those were there. I had no idea. He could have probably done some damage to my base. Maybe even distracted me. I probably would have just kept pushing in anyway, since I already had this force already dedicated. I didn't really want to risk him trying to, pull me off course. I probably would have just pushed in hard. So we had these 3 void rays chilling, a bunch in the queue. But yeah, that was it. So there you go. My big 6th match. Again, very special thanks to Hipster for a lot of the stuff he's been teaching me. I'm trying to put it all into practice. But that is going to do it. Again, you can track my progress, Starcraft Noob, NOOB.tumblr.com, and also check out my site gkick.net. Follow me on Twitter @gkickperry, and that's going to do it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.